The holiday season is fastly approaching, and in the United States of America, December is usually a time where things start to calm down in work, school starts to have breaks, and of course, because Christmas is on December 25th, a lot of Christmas lights go up, a lot of different conventions occur. They have the Christmas tree lighting in New York. They have different events that occur. And it's a season that's supposed to be holly jolly and nice. And a lot of times there are people who are not Christian who basically enjoy the festivities and see the different lights and see the different items and enjoy it. But there's a difference between seeing something and being a part of it. I think there's a lot of Muslims across the world that kind of fall into this mistake of getting a little bit too deep into worldly affairs, especially when it comes to something that's a religious affair. So there's been Muslims who have had Christmas trees in their house. They exchange gifts. The idea being that, we're not Christian, but we like the season and we like to give gifts, etc., etc. Now, this is wrong on a lot of levels. First of all, Christianity's holiday is Christmas. Christmas is the believed day that Jesus was born and that he, the Son of God, basically was the Almighty, and for Christmas is a religious holiday. A lot of Christians go to church on this day. They go through ritualistic Christian actions. There's also a lot of worldly actions, such as setting up a Christmas tree and exchanging gifts. There's kind of a mixing between the two, but the idea behind it is that it's a Christian holiday. Now, when it comes to Muslims saying that, they're just doing it to have fun, they don't want to be left out, they want to be a part of it, you have to think about it very carefully, because there's certain things that are halal and there's certain things that are haram. And when you say that you don't want to be left out or you want to be a part of it, you have to think about what you want to be a part of. Do you feel left out that, say, if you're an American Muslim and you live in this country and you see that, you don't want your kids to be feeling like they left out on Christmas gifts, so you let them have these Christmas gifts. Then eventually Easter comes around, you say, oh, all the other kids have chocolate bunnies, let's have chocolate bunnies. And then you go through, they get older, and all of a sudden it's high school and everybody's going to prom, everyone's having a prom day. You don't want your kid to feel left out. They're going to a public school. Let them have a prom date. Let them go to prom. Then they go to college. You don't want them to feel left out. Let them join a fraternity. Oh, all of a sudden, what do you know? They're drinking alcohol. They're not being pious. They're going down a path that is very westernized and American, and you scratch your head and you wonder why. And the thing is that's very odd about Christmas is that sometimes a lot of Muslims take it as a holiday where it's basically, well, I don't want to say a lot of Muslims. I would say the minority of Muslims do this, but there is a number of people who take holidays such as Christmas or other days and say, oh, wow, they have gifts, they have trees, they make it look great. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that there are 2 days that are better than any other day. That's Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. If you want to celebrate and have a holiday, those are the 2 days to do it. I think that a lot of times when you're living in America, the idea being that, for me personally, any day was Eid. Sometimes I would not take off of work. I would work. And then when it came to Christmas, you have the day off. So in my head, obviously I have off for Christmas. I don't take off for Eid, so it doesn't feel as special. So make it special. Take off of work. If you have kids, get them gifts. If you have relatives, visit them. If you have friends and family, go visit them. You make Eid special by going to the masjid for Eid prayer. You make Eid special by going out and not working that day. So if you're looking like you feel like you're missing out, you have to look at your own religion, look at the own benefits and the own joys that are there and take advantage of it. And another thing to take into consideration, other than the fact that Christmas is a Christian holiday, is that it's of the world, it's of the dunya. You should not be wanting of the world. You should not be looking to practice and do things that are of the world. If you look at a Christmas tree, you can say, well, this has nothing to do with Christianity. But the thing is, it's linked to Christianity as well as a worldly affair. You don't want to go down that route. You don't put a yarmulke on your head as opposed to a kufi because it has a cool design. It's based in these different practices that by doing it over and over and by associating yourself with it, you end up mingling with it, you end up being a part of it, and it ends up getting to the point where you may make other compromises and you may start questioning yourself or perhaps justifying things. I mean, me personally, I grew up in America. I have family members who are not Muslim, and when it comes to Christmas, a lot of times they'll give me Christmas cards or they'll give me money when I was younger, and my mother would always tell me that this is a worldly holiday. This is not a Islamic holiday. these people aren't Muslim. They don't mean anything bad by it, but remember that this is a worldly holiday. And I think this is very important when you think of the idea of being left out. If there's people who are not Muslim who are trying to interact with you saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, it's not to say, you know, what's merry about it, this is terrible, it's worse. You can be cordial, you can be nice, but at the end of the day, you need to know what's in your heart and understand that there is no religion that you associate with other than Islam. And when it comes to Christianity and Christmas, it's all right to be friendly and nice, but you're not going to then get gifts for someone just because it's Christmas. You're not going to go and unwrap presents under the tree. You're not going to, you know, participate in Secret Santa. You know, it's something that is of the world and it's something that is not Islamic, and going down that route is not beneficial. But at the same time, it's not to say that you should, you know, scream and yell at people if they're trying to interact in a Christmas way by bringing it up or mentioning it to you, such as some of my non-Muslim family members have done. And I think it's something to take into consideration and keep in mind that no matter what, you know, you can interact with these things on a certain level, but it's good to be afar from it. It's good to be a bit dejected, because by getting too wrapped up into these worldly holidays, you end up taking time and effort away from your own efforts in your own religion, and you start losing your time to these worldly affairs, which then take you further away from the religion as opposed to being stronger in it. So when it comes to celebrating Christmas, it's absolutely haram. It's not something that should be looked forward to. It's not something that should be an excuse to get a tree and create presents. If you want to have a holly jolly holiday, you have Eid al-Adha, you have Eid al-Fitr, there's 2 Eids, there's 2 Christmases, and you're worried about one Christmas, you have double Christmas, and you're worried about single Christmas. So at the end of the day, it's something to be avoided. It's something to stay away from. And if there's someone you know that does interact with this and they're Muslim, you make dua and you pray for them, and you make so many excuses and hope that they find a way out of it, because at the end of the day, there's only one person who can really make the decision for themselves, which is themselves.
في ناس كثير اتعذبوا برمضان، وفي ناس ما اكلت مثل قبل، في ناس ما راحوا حتى على محلات الحلو مثل قبل وما قدروا جابوا مثل ما كل العالم بتجيب. كل واحد حسب شغله شو بيطلع مصاري بالنهاية بيعيش. أكيد صعب علينا أكثر من أي شهر كان، بس سبحان الله ربنا بيطرح البركة فيها الشهر، بضل الواحد يقدر يخلص حاله.